Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are going to be talking about reading part 4, which is reading for viewpoints. So we're currently looking at the CELPIP test on the reading section. Okay, if you haven't taken a look through this article, please go ahead and do so. You can pause the video and read it. I'll just show you the top here and the bottom. Okay. So now that you've paused it, taken a look through it, we can start going through the questions, okay? So let's start with question number 1. All right, so it says, this article is about blank. All right, so we have 4 different choices. First of all, let's kind of establish what this question is trying to figure out, right? So when we have a question like this, right, they're asking for the main idea, the general idea of the article, okay? So when we're answering this question, we don't want to be looking for like just specific words or just like one part or another part, right? We want to look at the article as a complete project, right, as a whole, okay? So now that we understand that, let's go ahead and take a look at our options. So it says this article is about a conventional high school teacher with an unconventional idea, an ADHD expert teacher in Carleton High School, a partnership between a gym and a French teacher, a program introduced by Carleton High School's principal. Okay, so just because we're looking for the main idea doesn't mean we can't have keywords in here. So let's go ahead and highlight those. Right, so obviously we're looking for what the article is about, but we're looking for specifically things like a high school teacher with an unconventional idea, right? We could be looking for an ADHD expert teacher. We could be looking for a gym and French teacher. And we can also be looking for a program by a principal. All right. Next important thing to consider is with each of these, right, we have, they could be using different meanings or different words in the article. So for example, the word unconventional, we could be looking for unconventional in the article, but we might never find it, right? They might use a different word or different phrasing, okay? So unconventional can also have the meaning of unique or different, right? So just keeping that in mind, okay? So many words can have that throughout the test. All right, so now that we've taken a look at our options, let's go ahead and take a look at our practice test. So for every test, we want to make sure that we are taking notes. So please, sorry about that. I always highlight on the left here, but in reality, you're going to have a piece of paper where you can take notes, but you want to basically take notes to keep everything more organized. One strategy that you can go about doing is as you move through each paragraph, right? You can cover the first paragraph and then write notes on the first paragraph. So for example, this one could be about, we know we have Carleton High School, so I'll write Carl. We see that there is French class. We also see that there is gym class, right? Okay. And then we also see Bradley Gordon, right? Okay, so then I can take notes for that first one. Then I can move on to the second one and repeat the process, right? So I would go here, paragraph 2. Oh, let's use a different color for that. Okay, paragraph 2. Take it, then write it down, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that's the general idea of how you want to approach this. That's what I would recommend. There's many different ways of tackling this. Go with a way that's most suitable for you and for your learning. Please make sure you take notes though. It can make your process a lot simpler and easier. Okay, now that we've covered that, let's try and figure out the answer. All right, so it could be about a conventional high school with an unconventional idea, ADHD, gym and French, or program by a principal. I'll let you guys take a look through this and then I'll tell you the answer and we'll see why that's the correct answer. All right, so take a look. Okay, and the correct answer is going to be the first one, a conventional high school teacher with an unconventional idea. All right, so why is it that? It can be easier sometimes to tackle the wrong answers first, right? So let's take a look at a partnership between a gym and French teacher. All right, well, first of all, it doesn't mention a gym teacher or a French teacher, and so this question is a little unclear anyway. But the article, for example, it does actually mention gym and French. So if we look here in the first one, right, it says French class and gym class. Okay, so when you look in the first paragraph, you might think, oh, that's the correct answer. But is that the main idea of the article? No, right? What's the main idea of the article? We actually see that in the next sentence, right? Two major concerns in education are childhood obesity and ADHD. A disorder that results in restlessness, hyperactivity, impulsivity. Okay, and then it talks about Mr. Gordon came up with an innovative intervention to address both. All right, so I would say here, this is a good summary of what the article is about. Okay, again, this question, I'm not going to have like one specific section that gives you the right answer, because this is testing your idea, understanding of the main idea of the article. Okay, so here it is. And then as we go through each of the paragraphs, the third paragraph is more about how Mr. Gordon went through university and had different issues with that, and then he merged gym and French. The paragraph after that talks about how he put it into his students and how it was successful and how there was critical feedback. And then finally, this is just a conclusive part, just saying that everything worked out and things are going well. Okay. So yeah, for number one, again, you're not going to have those simple, just look here, that's the answer. But right, we do have ones like, let's take a look at a partnership between gym and French teacher. We did see that those are mentioned, but that's wrong because although it's mentioned, it's not the main idea, right? So it's just mentioned in a small little portion, but the article is not about gym and French class. It's about dealing with childhood obesity and ADHD, right? Okay, so we know that one's wrong. Another one, we have an ADHD expert in Carleton High School. Although the issue is ADHD that we can see on the bottom here, right? Okay, we do see ADHD mentioned. Nowhere does it really talk about Mr. Gordon, for example, who's our main character, and being an ADHD expert. Yes, he's trying to fix it, but that's not the main point. Okay. And then a program introduced by Carleton High School's principal. The principal, again, just like the others, is mentioned. If we go down here, we can see that the school's principal is mentioned. Okay, however, it's just about his or her feedback regarding seeing Bradley Gordon's idea. Okay, so the program made by Carleton High School's principal is not a valid option, which leaves our final one, a conventional high school teacher with an unconventional idea. Yes, because the whole thing is about him putting in bikes into classrooms or exercise balls and stuff like that. Okay, so that's why question number one is going to be the first one. All right,